low love of people. Welcome to my viral world. Today I discuss the important matter of the science. The topic is 7 science facts that are actually not true. This video divided 2 part. This is the first part. Second part coming soon. Science is hard enough to understand, especially when there are so many facts floating around that aren't actually true. You've probably heard more than half of the facts in this video. Here's the real science behind them. To help your brain grow even more, here are some weird facts that most people don't know. Let's start Mysterious World. Water conducts electricity. While this is a science myth, it doesn't mean you should bring your toaster in the bath with you. The reason you shouldn't swim in a lightning storm doesn't have to do with the water itself. Pure water is actually an insulator, which means it doesn't conduct electricity. The danger comes from the minerals and chemicals in it called ions, which have an electric charge. While pure water is theoretically safe around electricity, it's nearly impossible to find in the real world because even distilled water has ions. Check out these other 51 fun facts that are total lies. Blood is blue in your body. A widely shared myth is that blood is blue until it is exposed to air or replenishes its oxygen. Because veins are a greenish blue, that theory sounds reasonable enough. But the fact is, human blood looks the same in your body as outside, red. That hue is brighter when it's oxygen-rich and darker when it needs that oxygen replenished, but it's red all the same. The tissue covering your veins affects how the light is absorbed and scattered, which is why the blood circulating your body looks blue. Humans only use 10% of their brains. The idea of unlocking hidden brain power might make a compelling storyline for a movie, but it simply wouldn't happen in real life. One fact playing into the myth is that 90% of brain cells are white matter that help neurons survive, and only 10% is the gray matter of neurons in charge of thinking. But that white matter could never be used for brain power, so claiming 90% of our brain is wasted is like saying you waste peanuts when you throw out the shells. Any fMRI scan will show you that even saying a few words lights up way more than 10% of your brain. Scientists haven't uncovered any area of the brain, much less 90%, that doesn't affect thought, movement, or emotion in some capacity. The Great Wall of China is the only man-made structure you can see from the moon. Interestingly, this myth has been around at least since 1932, when a Ripley's Believe It or Not cartoon deemed the Great Wall of China is the mightiest work of man, the only one that would be visible to the human eye from the moon. Of course, that was almost 30 years before a machine would touch down on the moon, so the claim was entirely unfounded. Astronauts have now confirmed that even the Great Wall actually can't be seen from space, except at low altitudes. Even at those, relatively, low heights, it's actually easier to see roads and plane runways, whose colors don't blend into the ground like the Great Walls do. Not that the landmark isn't impressive, find out what it's really like to repair the Great Wall of China. Chameleons change color to match their surroundings. Yes, chameleons can change color by stretching and relaxing cells that contain crystals, which affects how the light is reflected. They can't change into any color to match their surroundings, though, and their color changes don't have much to do with camouflage. Instead, chameleons use the crystals mainly for communication. Dark colors signal aggression, like when a female doesn't want to mate, but also temperature control. Lighter colors reflect the heat. Those changes aren't directly used for camouflage, though, just the opposite. In fact, the dull brown and green resting colors of chameleons blend in with their surroundings until they switch it up. Other animals are masters at hiding, too. Can you spot the animals camouflaged in these videos? Goldfish have 3-second memories. Fish are smarter than you thought. One study found the freshwater fish African cichlids could remember the feeding zone of an aquarium after moving to a different tank for 12 days. Lest you think goldfish are any different, another study looked specifically at goldfish and whether they could tell the difference between two different classical songs. They weren't quick learners, but after more than 100 sessions, the fish would bite a beat associated with the correct song 75% of the time. If their memories were really 3 seconds, that kind of training wouldn't be possible. Ostriches bury their heads in the sand. The birds would die of suffocation if they actually stuck their heads underground when scared. Instead, they actually lie with their head and neck flat against the ground if a predator is approaching. Their light-colored head and neck blend in with the ground, which could explain why people assume their heads were underground from far away, according to the San Diego Zoo. Thank you for watching my video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel. Stay safe.